Is it ever justifiable to limit freedom of speech? This is a question that stirs the pot, a question that polarizes opinion, and a question that at the heart of some of the most heated debates. Freedom of speech, a fundamental right, a cornerstone of democracy, yet also a subject of contention. Can there be circumstances where it's justifiable to put a cap on this freedom? Is there a line that shouldn't be crossed? Stay tuned as we delve into different perspectives on this topic. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more such heated debates. Freedom of speech, a cornerstone of democratic societies, etched in the annals of human rights as an unalienable right, a beacon that illuminates the path of progress. It's the lifeblood of democracy, the catalyst for individual expression, the engine that drives societal evolution. Imagine a world where we all have the privilege to speak our minds freely, each word, each idea, a testament to our individuality, the power to express, to dissent, to agree, to question. This is the essence of freedom of speech. This right is not just about the ability to voice opinions, but also the freedom to listen, to absorb diverse views, to engage in a dynamic exchange of ideas. It's the bedrock upon which we build our understanding of the world, nurturing the intellectual growth of societies. With freedom of speech, we keep the wheels of democracy turning. It empowers citizens to hold those in power accountable, fostering transparency and integrity in governance. It's the essence of a healthy political discourse, the safeguard against the tyranny of the majority. Consider the scientific advancements, the philosophical debates, the social reforms that have shaped our world. Would they have been possible without the freedom to question, to challenge, to propose new ideas? Freedom of speech is the spark that ignites the flame of innovation, the key to societal progress. Yet as we revel in this liberty, we must also acknowledge the responsibility that comes with it. The words we utter, the ideas we propagate, they have power. They can enlighten or mislead, unite or divide, heal or harm. But what happens when this liberty is used to incite hate or spread misinformation? On the flip side, some argue that there are circumstances where limiting free speech is necessary. This perspective recognizes the essential value of free speech, but also acknowledges its potential for misuse. It's a delicate balance, a dance between liberty and responsibility, where we must weigh the rights of the individual against the welfare of the collective. Let's take a moment to consider hate speech, a term we've all heard, and one that stirs considerable controversy. It's speech that offends, threatens, or insults groups, often based on attributes such as race, religion, ethnic origin, sexual orientation, disability, or gender. Its impact can be profound, inciting violence, fostering hatred, and fracturing communities. In such instances, should free speech still be absolute? Then there's defamation. This involves making false statements that harm the reputation of an individual or a group. When lies or unfounded rumors can destroy lives and careers, should we still champion unrestricted speech? Or should there be mechanisms in place to safeguard individuals from such harmful actions? Furthermore, consider the spread of false information, especially in our digital age. Misinformation and disinformation can fuel panic, instigate violence, or even manipulate elections. In a world where truth can be a casualty of the information war, should free speech still remain unchecked? It's a complex issue, no doubt. The right to express oneself freely is a cornerstone of democratic societies, but it's clear that this freedom can be exploited and manipulated, leading to real-world harm. Some argue that limited restrictions, thoughtfully implemented and carefully monitored, could be a necessary evil to prevent such outcomes. So, where do we draw the line between freedom of speech and its potential misuse? It's a question that calls for careful contemplation, respectful dialogue, and a nuanced understanding of the complexities involved. And it's a debate that we must continue to engage in as we strive to balance our cherished freedoms with the need for safety, respect, and truth. Is there a middle ground, a balance between absolute freedom and necessary restrictions? Let's delve into this. In the quest for balance, we must first recognize that freedom of speech is not an absolute right, but rather a relative one. Every society, every culture has its boundaries, its limits. Simply put, there are things we cannot say because they harm others, incite violence, or spread falsehoods. This is where regulation comes into play. Imagine a world where every word spoken, every statement made is scrutinized by a regulatory body. Sounds a bit dystopian, doesn't it? Yet some form of regulation is necessary to prevent misuse. The challenge lies in ensuring that such regulation does not stifle freedom but rather promotes responsible use of it. Now, where does education fit in all this? Education is the key to understanding our rights and the responsibilities that come with them. It equips us with the knowledge to use our freedom of speech wisely, to communicate effectively and respectfully. It's not just about knowing what we can say, but understanding the impact of our words on others. Yet it's not enough to simply educate. We also need to foster a sense of individual responsibility. The onus is on each of us to use our freedom of speech responsibly. We must be accountable for our words and actions and understand that our right to express our views does not give us the right to harm others or spread hate. Striking the right balance is a complex task, but not an impossible one. It requires a collective effort, a shared understanding that while our freedom of speech is a fundamental right, it is not an excuse to cause harm or spread falsehoods. It's about using our freedom to promote understanding, tolerance, and respect. Could this balance be the answer, or does it simply bring in more questions? Reflect on this. As we continue to navigate the complexities of this great debate, let us remember that our goal is not to silence voices, but to ensure they are used responsibly and respectfully. Freedom of speech, an unalienable right or a privilege with boundaries. As we wrap up our discussion, let's revisit the perspectives we've delved into. We kicked off with the notion of free speech as a fundamental right, a pillar of democracy, allowing citizens to express their thoughts without fear of reprisal. Then we navigated the waters of necessary limitations, questioning if there ought to be boundaries to protect individuals and groups from harmful rhetoric. This concept stirred the pot, introducing the idea that absolute freedom could potentially lead to absolute chaos. Finally, we ventured into the potential middle ground, exploring the delicate balance between rights and responsibilities. Here, we pondered if it is possible to enjoy the freedom of speech while maintaining respect for others, thus promoting a healthier society. As we close this debate, remember, the aim is not to decide who is right or wrong, but to understand different perspectives. Engage in discourse, challenge your beliefs, and always remain open to learning. Now it's your turn to weigh in on this debate. Just as we've journeyed through various perspectives, exploring the contours of this controversial topic, we invite you to continue the discourse. This isn't just about us talking at you, but rather us talking with you. The beauty of a debate lies in the diverse voices that contribute to it, and that includes yours. So, what do you think? How do you interpret the issue at hand? Perhaps you found yourself nodding along to some points or shaking your head at others. Maybe you've even thought of a perspective that hasn't been mentioned yet. Whatever your thoughts, we'd absolutely love to hear them. Now, let's set some ground rules. Just as we've strived to maintain a respectful and open-minded atmosphere in this video, we ask for the same consideration in the comments section. Remember, the aim here isn't to win an argument, but to deepen our understanding of the topic and learn from one another. We encourage you to share your thoughts, but do so in a way that respects the diversity of opinions that are likely to be present. Also, remember to be patient with one another. We're all coming from different backgrounds with different experiences that shape our perspectives. It's perfectly okay to disagree, but let's do it in a manner that upholds the dignity of every individual. After all, who knows? You might just change someone's mind or have your own perspective broadened. Let's not forget, this is a space for constructive discourse. Let's use it to challenge our own biases, to question our assumptions, and to grow as individuals and as a community. Each comment, each perspective has the potential to add another layer to this complex issue, and it's through this collective exploration that we can inch closer to a more comprehensive understanding. So step up to the plate, share your thoughts, your perspectives, your questions, engage with others, respond to their comments, build on their ideas. Let's keep this conversation going, and let's do it with respect, open-mindedness, and a genuine curiosity to understand. Thank you for participating in this great debate. Stay tuned for our next controversial topic.